everyone, it's Michelle Angelic, Truth and Integrity Warrior, and I wanted to bring a serious topic today. I hope that people listen, I hope people take the time to pay attention, and it's about Memorial Day. Yesterday, Memorial Day. People died for this country, the United States of America. It's supposed to be the United States for America, not of America. Why for America? Because the United States used to mean something, but it was lost. And it was lost, and I want to give that history of what the hell happened and why we're in the situation that we're in today. But we don't understand why government can do what it's doing, why corporations can tell government to do what they're doing to the people. And so take a moment, listen, take some time. If not, please step out. But if you care about this country and about where it's going, the light that this country holds for the world is a beacon of light for the world. Why is it a beacon? Because without freedom, we go right back to where we were, in the dark. Freedom means something. Make it stand for something. Make the people who died yesterday that we remembered. Who died? The men and women in all the wars, fighting for freedom. And we're just sitting on our asses today, not knowing what the fuck's really going on. So let's pay some fucking attention. Alright, we're going to do a little history lesson. It's going to be short, it's going to be brief, it's going to be to the point. So you can start digging, start looking. A couple dates, a couple what happened, who, what, where, why. So we're going to give off some dates right here. We're going to start off with the U.S. became a corporation of the English crown. How is that possible? These are the dates I'm going to put out so people can start seeing these acts, reading them for themselves, and being able to get an idea of how everything got structured to get us to the point that we're at today. America became bankrupt 1861. You can look up 1861. America becoming bankrupt. This allowed bankers to come in and step in and make a deal. A new government was formed on American soil that's unconstitutional, but yet it was done. And you can find it under the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871. It's formed their own government, their own set of laws, and that shit is spread like a fucking virus. Talk about a virus. Shit spread like a virus. Not just to this country, but to the world. And let's move on. We got the Federal Reserve Act, 1913. Start digging right there. This created a banking system for that corporation. They got formed under the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia created a corporation, and that corporation was called the United States. Leaving out America, but just the United States. Now that's a corporation. It's all in capital letters. And those who understand how business works, when you start a business, it all has to be capitalized to show that it's an entity, it's a private entity. And so this country is a private entity, and it works differently than what we expect it to work like. So we have a false government facade in the front, but behind it's a corporation. And once we get past that hump, we're going to actually be able to make some changes and do the right thing for this country and lead it the right way. Lead it the right way. The Federal Reserve Act, 1913. Start digging right there. It created a central banking system for that private entity, that corporation, that is called the United States. Not of America, it's just called the United States. So what it did is it formed a corporation, like I said, the United States, and it was by foreign interests. And that foreign interest then formed that central bank that I said, go look up, 1913, Federal Reserve Act. It all just start coming together, what's going on and how treasonous all these things have been done to this country and its people, and all this misleading and all this not understanding. And so those dates are really important, and the last date I want to give you is 1913. That's like a two-layer in there. So we've got two things going on in 1913. War Powers Act, Title 12, USC. USC stands for United States Code. Why is it code? Because it's corporate law, not common law, it's corporate law. That's why it's all in code. Section 95A and 95B. Start digging. What that does is two things. One that declares all U.S. citizens enemy of the corporate United States. Now, I won't call it the corporate United States. We'll just call it the United States government. But we have to understand that it's that corporate United States that it's talking about. And at the same time, it placed permanent emergency rule. And now the Emergency Rule Act is when a government can supersede and override proper processes and procedures to get things approved. They can just approve it because they mandate it. And they can only do that in times of war and times of peace. And we don't recognize that they're able to do that. And so we've been placed under permanent emergency rule so that these presidents put in place can sign these executive orders like that without going by the people, for the people, of the people. What happened to that? Now it's for the corporation, by the corporation, of the corporation. And we need to get a clue. We need to, well, we don't need to do anything. I need to. I'm going to speak for myself and why it's important for me to get this message out, because I know that somebody somewhere is going to be able to do something with this information, with this X marks the spot. Start digging. Let's do. And so what do we got to do? We got to, for a call of action, what I feel we need to do, and what I've been reading and researching all these other people's works, digging all this information up, is to get rid of emergency rule. Placed since 1933, and even before then, it just became permanent in 1933, this emergency rule. And that is given under, what do we have? 1933 emergency powers given under the pretense of the national emergency of 1933 have remained in place and in force. That national function of the federal government will be suspended. So what is supposed to be our government has been suspended since 1933, and we've been living under this, where these presidents of the corporation that we're putting in place, thinking that they're presidents of our nation, right? No, they're presidents of the corporation. And they've been doing these things and writing these things up. And we trust that they can do it, and then the other side hates that they do it. So they got us pitted back and forth, left wing, right wing, when it's the same fucking wings of the same corporate beast that we ain't paying attention to. Now, we got the Democrats, we got the Republicans, and all the ones in the middle. But what the point is here is that they got to pit us. They pit us against one another. So we're fighting this fool and that fool instead of recognizing the ones that are making us to be fools, right? So we don't pay attention in the right direction. And so we're supposed to be a democratic republic. We're not supposed to be one or the other. We're supposed to be one. What happened to that eagle? What happened to that bird of freedom? Yeah? Not this corporate dragon beast that we got going on, you know? Let's pay some attention. To be a democratic republic is the public rules in a republic. And to be democratic, it's the authority to choose how we're ruled, or how we are governed, who we put in place to give the rule that we, the people, choose for ourselves to be right. So that is a democratic republic that we got to get back in place. Not this one side, two side, hate both sides. It's been a game. It's been a game for too long. We got to cease that and recognize the game being played. But as long as we love our idols that we are rooting for, you know, and campaign to be the president of the corporation, you know, that's the point we got to get, is these are presidents of the corporation, and they know the game, or they're out, and we know what happens to people who are not part of the game in that place, you know, of being the president. Ask JFK, ask his family, look at his history, see what he wrote right before he died, trying to state to the nation what's happening. He saw the game, and he's like, shit, if I tell anybody, they ain't gonna believe me. Shit's so fucking ridiculous, insidious, out fucking outrageous. But I got to set the lead, is what he believed. I gotta leave a mark, and we've forgotten. So I'm gonna be posting that so that you can hear his words, read his words, feel his message. With all these other dates, so we can start digging, because somebody somewhere knows what to do and how to change the law, so that we can repeal this emergency rule, so that all of these emergency rule acts, we overturn them, we repeal them. Now, I don't have the power to do that, but I know that there are people out there who can, and know people who can do it. It's just needing that, where do we start digging? And this is where we overturn these treasonous acts that have happened against the people of the world. I'm going to say of the world, because the world has been affected by what this corporation has done to the world, because it's not just done it to America, but as soon as the lights go out in America, it's out for the world. Remember, we are that beacon. Not just we, American people, have been betrayed. The world has been betrayed by this. And it's a hard step to wake up to, but we have to. Because our children won't be able to. They don't know what things were like before and how things are supposed to be. They won't even know what a constitution was or is. And we're starting to forget. So let's remember those people who died for the right thing. For what they believed in was freedom. And now we're about to lose that freedom for real, globally. And if America don't take a stand, we're out. Do the right thing.